Hey guys, it's Marie Nicole here again. I'm playing with this stamp set from Brutus Monroe, and this is one of their new stamp sets, and it's really cute. The dogs here that you see is little Brutus Monroe himself. That's the dog that the company is named after. And I'm going to be making another card that is similar to this one, but with the other dog. Now, I kind of mixed this stamp set with another one that I'll show you. And it's just giving you some ideas how you can kind of mix some of your stamp sets that you might already have. So this little guy here, Brutus Monroe's friend, I went ahead and I stamped him out and I colored him with some distress inks. And now I'm just going to go and fussy cut him out. So once he's all cut out, I'm going to start stamping out some of the accessories. And this is my other stamp set. This is by Avery L. And this is their Hipsterpotamus stamp set, which is really fun. And I've done a lot of different things with it. But you can see that I used those glasses here on little Brutus Monroe and the hat. But if you can notice, the hat is flipped. And I'm going to show you how to flip your stamp images if it's not facing the way you want it to. This doesn't work with all of your stamps, but this is such a small stamp and it's easy to do this technique with this little hat. So I'm going to show you. This is actually called mirror stamping because you can flip the stamp image. Now you want to take a big stamp and you want to use the back of it so you have that flat back on your stamp and put it down on a stamp block with that flat back up. Then take the stamp that you want to flip and go ahead and stamp it right on top of that flat stamp that you already put down. Now what this is doing is it's putting ink down on that stamp, and it's not going to soak in since these stamps are already made to hold and transfer ink. And then you just take a piece of cardstock and you lay it over that image, push it down, and then when you peel it up, you're going to have that stamped image in reverse. So that's kind of how I flipped these hats here. It's really fun to kind of try this mirror stamping. Like I said, it doesn't always work for every stamp, but these smaller stamp images, it seems to do pretty good. Now, I didn't get as crisp of an image as I would usually get if I just stamped it out, so I'm taking my micron pen and I'm just going over the lines and filling them in just to kind of get a better image. I really like my micron pens for this purpose. If I ever stamp something that doesn't stamp completely the way I want it to, I just go over the lines with my microns. So now I have that little hat all stamped out and I want to color it. So I'm taking some Brutus Monroe Premium Chalk ink, and this color is aubergine and it's a really pretty purple color, and I'm just going to squish some out onto my stamp block, and then I'm mixing it with some water and I'm kind of creating a watercolor here. Now I'm just going to pick up some of that ink and just watercolor onto the hat and just get it all colored in. And I'm kind of trying to make the colors all sort of an even layer of color here on the hat. Squishing out a little bit more ink there and picking it up with my water brush and just brushing it on. So now my hat is all colored and I set it aside to dry a little bit. Now I'm going to be stamping that bow tie from that Hipsterpotamus set as well, and I'm just going to stamp it in aubergine to match the hat. So I'm just going to ink up this stamp and just stamp it right onto the cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut that bow tie out as well. And after I cut it out, I'm showing you here, I'm going around the edges with a black pen. This kind of just makes the edges look a little bit more finished, makes it look like you had a really nice close cut for that bow tie. Now I'm showing you a die set that I have. I'm going to be cutting it out, this die out on craft, and it's got that nice little stitch border around the outside. This is a journaling card from Lawn Fawn, and it's just the right size to kind of build little scenes on your cards, and that's what I'm using today. So I'm taking some more of those images from this stamp set, and I wanted to make sort of a tone-on-tone background. I thought about using Versamark ink to kind of make a watermark ink background, but I thought Versamark might be a little bit too light, might not show up as dark as I want it to, and it might take a while to dry. So I'm just using some brown distressed ink and stamping it on the background, and it gives me a tone-on-tone background, but it's a little bit darker so that you can still kind of make out the images in the back. So I went ahead and I I stamped out that dog house. Now I'm just going to put some different accessories around, some little balls that this little doggy can play with, and a little chew toy. And I thought these little accessories will go well with the little saying that I'm planning on putting on this card, and you'll see that at the end of the video. Sorry, my camera is picking up my head instead of the card itself, so it's a little bit out of focus, but there it goes, it's refocusing. So I'm just going to sort of lay out where I want to put these stamps, putting a few little balls down there by the dog house, kind of just creating a cute little scene. And I really love this about this stamp set, that it gives you so many different accessories and little stamps that goes along with these dogs, and you can really just build a cute little card that sort of tells a story. Now I'm using some of these smaller stamps in the set. There's like a little dog paw, there's some hearts and some little swirls and stuff, and I'm just kind of filling in that background with a lot of these smaller stamps. So that really completes my little background card here that I'm going to use for this card. My next step is to take my dog that I already have cut out and colored, and I'm going to be putting some foam adhesive on the hat just to kind of pop it up a little bit. And then I'm also going to put some foam adhesive on the dog itself and just pop it up against that background a little bit. I really wanted the hat to kind of pop off his head, so that's why I'm using a little bit of foam adhesive. For his little bow tie, I'm not going to use foam adhesive. I thought it would look fine if I just kind of adhered it down with some regular adhesive. Excuse me, I can't think. But I am putting the dog down with some foam adhesive. So I kind of wanted to place him in between those little toys there, so you could still kind of see them peeking out from behind him. And I didn't want to cover up too much of the background. So you can kind of still see the little toys that he's got around his feet. And here's that little bow tie that I stamped. Like I said, I'm just going to use regular adhesive for this one. Stick it right under his chin. And that kind of completes this little panel for the card. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my card base and start working on that. The next thing I'm going to do for this card is I like to kind of tape my card down to my workspace, and that just holds it in place while I do some of this ink blending. I'm just using a blending tool with one of those mini foam blenders, and I'm picking up some more of that aubergine Brutus Monroe chalk ink, and I'm just blending it on the background. Now my foam blenders are new for these colors, and I've noticed that the new ones don't blend quite as well as when you've kind of broken them in and they've gotten used to blending and kind of softened them out. So I always hate it when I have to break in a new foam blender, because it seems like I don't get that perfectly blended background that I'm going for. But if you're dealing with that, all you have to do is just keep blending, just keep working at it. It might seem like it takes forever, but as you keep blending, it'll blend out and it'll look really nice. Now I'm just going to try to do the bottom right hand corner of this card. I kind of want it to fade up into the background, so I'm not going to completely cover the background with this color. I'm just doing the bottom right corner. So I've got that done, and in order to pop up my little journaling card, I'm using some kids' craft foam. Now I like doing the craft foam for a bigger piece, that way I don't have to use up all of my foam adhesive. Now I'm showing you that I'm using some of these different washi tapes. They're all black and white, but they're different patterns, so they still coordinate. And I'm making some little flags out of them. I'm just ripping off a piece of washi tape, folding it over on itself, and then I'm just going to take my scissors and cut out a little flag shape at the end. I think it's really fun to kind of make washi tape flags because you have all the different patterns of washi tape, so you can use them in some really creative ways. So I went ahead and I did that with the other two patterns of washi tape, and I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back of this card so that I can stick it down, and I'm getting my tape flags stuck in there too. So I'm just going to stick it all down together. Now I'm lining this sort of scene up on the background of the card. I'm going to put it way over to the side and give myself lots of room to build my sentiment, because I have a lot of letters I'm going to be putting down. Now to build my sentiment, I went into my stash and I found a bunch of alphabet stickers, and I just built the little sentiment with my stickers. It took a little while to kind of measure them out and line them up, but I think it was worth it. And I gave this little dog sort of a little hipster sentiment that's a little bit witty or punny, and I thought it went well with the whole dog theme, hipsters. So really fun card to make. I enjoyed making both of them. A lot of times if I find a card that I like, I'll go ahead and make another one just to have several of them in my card stash that I can send out and they're ready to go. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making these cards. If you like these stamps, they are available in the Brutus Monroe store, so you can hop on over there and check them out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching today, and I'll catch you next time in some future videos. Bye!